Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. This weekend we talked about the third reason. I'm Pastor Herb, by the way, if you didn't recognize me already. We talked about the third reason that we know that you matter to God, and that is that He pursues you. This one really spoke to me because I experienced it in my life. There's three things that we learned from Psalm 139. I want to read part of Psalm 139 for you here. So wherever you go, or where shall I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend up to heaven, you're there. If I make my bed in hell, you're there. So no matter where we go, God is there with us. So how does that translate into He pursues us? Well, we see that when somebody tries to run from God, God finds them where they are. So the first point was you can't run from God. One example is Jonah. One example is Saul of Tarsus, who then became Paul. Jonah had a calling from God, refused to go, and he went to the boat. God found him there. He was cast into the water. God found him in the water. In the whale's belly, God found him everywhere he ran. So God pursues you with vigor. He goes where you are. God finds you where you are. For Saul of Tarsus, he was really excited about what he was doing, but he was really wrong. God found him on the road, and the bright light shone down around him, and he was converted right there on the road where God found him. The cool thing is, the third point that we learned this week, and we'll be talking more about it as we go on this week, is God will always be with you where you are. So God didn't make Saul go back and straighten out what he'd done before. He found him where he is, he healed him where he is, and he was with him where he found him. So no matter what your mistakes are of the past, it doesn't matter. God pursues you, finds you where you are, and He is there with you in that trouble, in whatever situation you're in. That's where He wants to be with you and strengthen you. So I hope that you'll do the memory verses this week, read Psalm 139, learn how this applies to your life, and understand how much you matter to God and that He pursues you. One last thing, the prodigal son, which I experienced in my personal life. When that prodigal son returned, remember, as soon as the father saw the prodigal son, he ran. He lifted his robes and ran to him. And that's how it is with us. All we need to do is make the move to turn towards God, and He runs to us and pursues us. And He'll never fail to do that if you'll just turn and take the time to acknowledge Him. He'll always be there for you. God bless and have a fantastic week.